connected this season. You see that they're holding teams to 52 points a game, shooting 34% and 24% respectively from the field and from three. So the defense for the Tar Heels is going to be key.
And the tip-off here from the Watsco Center, and I love what you said, Asia, just about defense being the calling card for North Carolina this season, as Miami gets the tip as it goes out of bounds. Nat Williams, one of those big additions, along with Cameron Williams, or Nat Marshall rather, and Cameron Williams, one of those big addition pieces for first-year head coach Tricia Cullop to try to help relieve some of that backcourt for Haley Cavender. In the front court, there is Marshall, too strong. Offensive rebound, and the 11-1 Hurricanes trying to get their first points of the game taken away. Here come the Tar Heels back the other way. Step through as a Euro step. And Kelly can't finish it off. And Haley Cavender, 14 in white, her twin sister. Hannah Cavender, number 15 for the Hurricanes. You will see them for the guard play for Miami. Meanwhile, 17th ranked North Carolina, 12-2 overall this season. Alyssa Ustby has been a centerpiece of this offense, along with Maria Gakdang. And Gakdang is one of those players we will pay attention to tonight. Post play will be fun to watch with both Gakdang and Williams down low, kicked out to Donarski, and Lexi Donarski sees that one stuck in the corner. So thanks to our great floor crew getting things taken care of really quickly. And Asia, as we look at keys to the game for Miami, what's it going to be?
Yeah, I mean, obviously establishing presence inside, getting into the paint, whether it's getting into the post, attacking from the guards. They want to get to the free throw line because they are the best in conference in shooting that. And more importantly, with the defense of UNC, they have to take great care of the basketball.
Ustby inside, and great read and find as Ustby with the assist to Gakdang.
And there we go, you said it, Tiff. We talked about establishing the post inside, whether it's Gakdang or Ustby.
Back the other way, and Cavender trying to answer, and Alyssa Ustby, who leads the way in rebounds along with points per game, assists in many other categories. Again, the centerpiece of what has been an impressive year. She's off the mark. And Marshall looking for some relief, finding it in the hands of Haley Cavender, the graduate out of Gilbert, Arizona. Sister Hannah picks up the dribble, finds her sister. Haley swish, and the first 3 points for Miami as the triple goes down for the ACC Player of the Week. Gakdang back the other way, establishing her early, and they're having success doing so, are the Tar Heels.
Yeah, Miami's got to get back. The Tar Heels, they're going to look to go at it no matter what. They have that next play action mindset, but how about Miami, twin-the-twin telepathy? I know you probably hear that every broadcast, but I had to do it. Can't help myself.
Absolutely. I mean, why not dive in? Meanwhile, Maria Gakdang, the senior, came in a couple of years ago from Boston College, and she's coming off a strong performance, third straight double-double against Norfolk State. And India Navarre, another crucial piece for this Tar Heel squad, and she's off the mark. She tries to run it in. Cavender tries to find her twin sister, Haley, and Hannah and Haley connection just disrupted there, trying to get their hands in and be disruptive in passing lanes. And what's it going to be for Courtney Banghart's crew and the Keys?
I mean, it starts with their hallmark, which is their defense, and they want to keep Miami in that half-court game, shooting those tough shots, holding the low percentages as they have been doing, again, establishing the post. We've seen that early on so far, and Alyssa Ustby, she's got to have double-figure scoring in this matchup.
Well, just better offense there from Cameron Williams. Tough shot made by the graduate. Quick shot put up. Gakdang gets the offensive rebound. Lexi Donarski is off the mark, but once again, very active early on for Gakdang. So as they reset, Ustby kicks it over. India Navarre, triple. She answers back the other way.
This is such a balanced attack that North Carolina leads with offensively. And, you know, we talked to Coach Courtney Bangert, and she said, we asked her, hey, like, what's it like not having that sort of go-to scorer anymore? And she didn't complain about it. She said, actually, I like having that balance attack where it can be anybody's night.
Cavender on the take, just too strong, but the Tar Heels got a piece of her on the way up. Well, nice little flow to start things up. The Hurricanes see Cameron Williams with some nice moves right here. Good post move there.
Oh, yeah, nothing like a big girl getting things done. And then to counter that on the other end, stepping up, hitting it from 3, we have Navarre. Talked about that balance scoring, that balance attack, being able to play inside and out. They established Gakdang early in the paint, and that was able to open up things around the perimeter for UNC.
For Haley Cavender. At the free throw line, knocks down both free throws, a 74% free throw shooter, and she's got 4 points, or rather 5 points after that make. Inside again. And Maria Gakdang is just feeling it right now. Again, getting it into her hands quickly and as often as possible. She's got 6 of the 9 points for UNC.
And she keeps her game so simple, her presence, her length, her strength. Just the way she moves, she's very agile. Keeps her game very simple.
Single digits on the shot clock to work with for the Hurricanes. There's Jasmine Roberts, first time we've called her name. Roberts off the mark. Williams with the rebound, and they'll reset 20 seconds and counting on the shot clock. Here's Marshall, that stretch 4 that could pull you out. Good defense there from Ustby. And back the other way. What have you liked so far in terms of the tempo and pace as Ustby puts up the 3 and it rolls in?
Well, for UNC specifically, I mean, there we're seeing it. We're seeing that dynamic inside and out play on the offensive end. Defense, I like that they're switching things up, getting the Hurricanes sped up, but Miami, they've done a good job the last couple possessions just getting the ball moving around.
And Haley Cavender, Cameron Williams has put in a bucket as well. Tough shot there, nearly halfway down. Players fall to the floor. Marshall was the first to touch it. And it's going to stay with Miami after the jump ball. 4:54 remaining in the first quarter. A 12-7 game here.
Pete Gordon invests the way he wants to invest, with no minimums and no hesitations.
I'm taking the train tomorrow.
It's like 30 minutes from your house.
40.
Oh.
Talk about easier investing.
Look. Here we go. They're following us.
This is awesome.
Idiot.
The first ever Nissan Rogue Rock Creek.
On the ACC network, number 17, North Carolina with a 12-7 advantage on the road against Miami. The former Maryland standout, Asia Ellison, Tiffany Green here with you, and you're tuning in to 2 really hot teams right now. You've got 12-2, best non-conference record for the Tar Heels. Meanwhile, it's Miami coming in shrieking, winners of their last 4.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And they're looking to not let up. They want to continue that streak and protect their house here at the Watco Center. But right now, UNC, you've got to be impressed with that dynamic, balanced attack that they've had so far, as well as what they've been able to do on the defensive end.
Among the interesting matchups that we were looking forward to, Asia, you said, hey, one of the keys for North Carolina is they had to establish Maria Gakdang early, and she has done so. 6 points to help lead the way.
Oh, she has done so indeed. I'm so impressed with her game, how she's so agile, the way she works out in the post. She keeps her game simple, so it really looks easy. But for Miami, I think it's a little hard guarding right now, as you could see on the court. But what she's been able to do, she's been able to establish that inside presence, which has opened up the floor. They've been able to hit some outside shots as well.
On the other side, you've got Miami and the reigning ACC Player of the Week and Haley Cavender, as she has helped to carry the load for the Hurricanes, not only in this game with 5 points, but all season long.
Oh, yeah, she's carrying an absolute load. She's a Swiss Army knife, so she does it all. She defends, she rebounds, she scores the basketball, she dishes it out. She has a high motor, a high IQ. She's going to be the focal point at all times on every team's scouting report. So we're going to look to see her come alive and blow it up and get some shots up.
Well, this Miami team, we talked about coming in 11-1 record overall. They already picked up their first conference win against Pitt earlier this month, but they also made a big trip across the country and into the Pacific Ocean at the Maui Classic, and they were able to notch wins against both Nevada and Oregon State.
Oh, yeah. And we talked about it. Haley Cavender, the way she showed up, showed out, brought her A game. Wasn't just on the beach having fun. Yeah. She was able to do it on the court as well. But you talk about the game that she's had, the terrific week that she's had. That's just been a staple, and it's been key. And I remember myself playing in the Maui Classic, how fun it is, and just being able to get that holiday break, but playing against some great teams, great matchup like Oregon State.
She's playing under first-year head coach Trisha Cullop, who takes over for Katie Meyer, who's in the house. Over the last 3 games or so, this is what Haley Cavender is done, averaging better than 22 points a game and 12 rebounds, and obviously earning her ACC weekly honors. Back here on the court, 5-point deficit for the home Canes.
We talk about those rebounds, though. She's 5'6", and she's out on the perimeter. 12 rebounds? Seriously?
Yeah. Outstanding. Off the miss, Grace Townsend, who checks in for the Tar Heels. And good ball movement we've seen, along with Trayana Crisp. And Crisp, among those new additions, that backcourt with both Crisp and Grace Townsend. They bring a nice load of experience for Courtney Banger. And the deflection there by Laney Grant. And Laney Grant, who is already impressed over the last couple of games, tied a career high with 15 points in there, the steal, and finishing coast to coast.
She was just named the Tamika Catchings Freshman of the Week. Outstanding double-figure scorings in her last few games, had a career high in threes made. She is just absolutely talented, and Coach said that she's mature beyond her years as a freshman, and she's just always looking to learn, always looking to improve, and plays very fearless.
Well, the freshman out of Midlothian, Virginia, who is really starting to play and fit in that build of what she was recruited as, and one of those high-ranked recruits coming in for this Tar Heel program. This group now on a 9-0 run, and they're getting help from all areas. You talk about the depth of this Carolina crew.
And we talked about it, Grant, the way she's played in the last few games, adding to that depth, as you were saying. That's what's key, especially in the stretch when it comes tournament time, late in conference season. That experience and that depth is key.
And Ustby, who was fouled from behind, that was Hannah Cavender with the personal foul, her first, team's first as well.
Another look at the foul call here. Cavender looking to go over the screen, and she caught Ustby with the elbow there trying to get through.
Too strong from Townsend, almost put back, and Gokding nearly had her 8th point, but it's Miami basketball back the other way. Nat Marshall looking for somewhere to go. That's Cavender, who controls it. This group averaging 75 points a game, 47% from the floor. Popped over, Jasmine Roberts has to work quickly in the lane, put up, and won't go down.
I'm so impressed with UNC and their defense. You see when Haley Cavender has the ball, they're hedging hard, but that post player that's hedging hard, they're getting right back to their man right after and continuing to be able to keep them out the paint.
Couple of white jerseys around Gokding. Tough when she went up. Fouled. And Natalia Marshall whistled for the first personal foul, her first, team's second.
Well, and this was a small lineup. Not here, though. Not right here, but Gakding, you gotta credit her and just her ability to be able to get that spacing, carve out that space, and create that look, draw in the contact, and get to the free throw line.
We talk about just a lot of different proven options for Courtney Bangert in her 6th season with the Carolina Tar Heels, and this group she says I really like. I just really feel like this is a fun group, and when we talk to the players as well, they have that same sentiment, Asia.
Yeah, Lexi Donarski, she told us that this group, they like to have fun. That's exactly how she described the team as fun. She said that they had that kid in a candy store, youthful type of vibe. And, I mean, that's what it's about. You get the X's and O's out the way, but at the end of the day, it's about going out there playing and having fun.
How about Lamaya Hilton following her own shot, the missed 3, went to get the rebound. She was fouled in the process. So it's going to be Miami basketball on their baseline. 4th team foul for North Carolina, so important for them. The next one will send Miami to the free throw line the rest of the way.
And that's exactly where they want to be. That's their strong point, is getting to the free throw line and putting them in.
And a Cavender on the inbound. Here's Cam Williams. Back to Haley Cavender, picks up her dribble. 3-second violation whistled against Miami, so it's going to be handed right back over to the Tar Heels, who've got an 8-point advantage, searching for their first win at the Watsco Center since 2015. Good look there at Trisha Cullum in her first season, coming over from Toledo. The great success that she had there with the Rockets, and looking to continue from the fine things that Katie Meyer has done with this program that she did in her 19 seasons. Jasmine Roberts, top of the key 3, and it rolls in. So Roberts registers her first points, and now Miami within 5.
And you credit Roberts stepping up to knock down that shot, but also the pass coming from Kavner. We talked about it, Swiss Army knife. She drives into the lane, gets all the defenders on her, and is able to kick out and find her open partner.
And then picks up the steal in the process as she's trying to drive back the other way. Roberts once more. And the whistle, so it's going to go against Miami. They turn it over. Couldn't see the call directly from the official. I think he may have called a traveling violation on Haley Cavender. Good ball movement inside. They find Ustby. And Williams, the defender, falls down. No whistle. Gakding wrestles that rebound down and puts it back. Maria Gakding is 4 for 4 from the floor. She's got 9 points to go along with a couple of rebounds.
Oh yeah, she's utilizing her size, indeed, making her presence felt in the interior.
We said we'd be interested in the matchup between Gakding and Cameron Williams on the interior. Meanwhile, North Carolina, one of the top teams in the country in scoring defense, field goal defense, along with three-point defense, made that shot ever so difficult for Roberts. No problem, because Haley Cavender's like, I got your back, girl.
Listen, she's got ice in her veins. Shoot or shoot. She's going to find her shot. She knows how to find others, but she has that balance where she can be the calming factor offensively.
Well, she leads the way for the Canes with better than 18 points average per game, and she gets a well-deserved breather for potentially the end of the half with 31.8 seconds remaining, because just in watching her, she didn't stop.
Oh, she didn't stop. And you look at the defense that they're putting on her, you know, high tempo defense. So it's great for her to get a break right now and extra time to just be able to sit and evaluate and make some adjustments.
Grace Townsend, graduate transfer from Richmond, coming off her career best in a UNC uniform. Got to get some action quickly as India Navarre with the take of the left hand. Boy, she was just able to circle around and almost Couple more as a strong start for the Tar Heels on the road in the opening quarter. A 21-14 advantage, and it was an all-around effort. Asia, you talked about the balanced attack. We saw that on full display through 10 minutes. Different story, more turnovers than field goals made.
Absolutely, and they had those 6 turnovers there you saw listed for Miami, and UNC scored 4 off of those. So 4 of their 9 points off of Miami turnovers. So we talked about it, that defense that has been staple.
Townsend loses the basketball. Ustby fights for it, gets it back for the Tar Heels. Over to Navarre. Navarre with the reverse layup and in. Well, India Navarre, love watching her game. Second season with the program, and the junior only had a couple points her last outing. However, she just adds another element on both ends of the floor.
I mean, she's driving that thing offensively. There's no stopping her. She has so much power in that first step, strength, length, able to get to the basket. And then on the other end, as you were saying, she's one of the best off-ball defenders, getting in the passing lanes and wreaking havoc, getting a lot of steals.
That one off the mark, and it's going to be North Carolina basketball. What is it that you have noticed about the defense for Carolina that's made it tough for Trisha Cullop's group in moments?
Well, they're switching things up defensively, specifically when you talk about Haley Kavner and the way they've been defending her. Different things, different looks in the ball screen action. They've been changing things up, whether it's hard hedging, whether it's protecting, get through, whether it's maybe throwing 2 people at them here and there. They're aggressive, they have high hands, and more importantly, they're all together. You get by one of them, the other one is there right away. They're heavy help in the gaps.
Deflection, last touched by the Canes, so UNC gets it. A hand got on, and it looked like that one may have been clean. Instead, a foul whistled against Jasmine Roberts, her first personal foul. So the team's first of the half. Renaya Kelly checks back in for Grace Townsend. This Carolina crew, 65% from the free throw line. Alyssa Ustby misses the first. Well, coming up next, the conclusion of this afternoon's women's quadruple header with number 22 NC State hosting Clemson. About the Pack, won 5 in a row. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games. A lot of teams trying to make their adjustments after the Christmas break, understanding a lot of teams hadn't played since, no December 19th or 20th. So getting their legs back and back into the flow.
You know what happens, the practice, they always talk about the practice after. The practice, you come back from break is the hardest one, but those practices leading up to that following game are the most crucial. You got to lock in.
Fouls on Renaya Kelly. So it's going to be Miami basketball. Haley Kavner, who's leading the way with 9 points for the Canes. And wow, what addition assist to Cameron Williams. We talked about leading the team in points and assists. And yeah, she can find you.
That's great execution in a special situation on that out of bounds play. And you got to be happy if you're the Hurricanes. You have both your bigs in Marshall and Williams back on the court, but they do have to be careful. They're foul prone, and I know UNC is looking to attack them. They lack in depth in the front court.
Well, that basket is going to be waved off by Marshall because Lainey Grant, the freshman, gave her body up underneath and takes the charge.
And that's huge, that second foul on Nat Marshall. Now she's going to have to go back to the bench. But how about the freshman stepping in, sacrificing her body? I mean, it's not only that effort and just that selflessness to do that, it's the IQ as well. So to see that defensively coming from a freshman is just absolutely impressive.
We talked about that important second foul for Nat Marshall. So now Cam Williams will be the big, and as Lainey Grant does it on both ends of the floor. Boy, I'm just quickly impressed by this freshman.
Absolutely fearless, relentless, and her toughness, her motor is going to be absolutely key. And you talked about Nat Marshall, that's 6'5", that was guarding Ustby back on the bench. So now Roberts is on her. So Ustby has that size advantage. So UNC, look out for her offensively.
Sequence of events there with the block. Cavender goes down momentarily, and then Ustby just gets it to roll around. So a timeout taken here, and it's Miami spends their timeout in a very physical ball game we're seeing here in this ACC home opener for Miami.
Absolutely. This is what you get when you get into the ACC, a bit of physicality. UNC, Miami, UNC dominating right now. Miami's got some work to do.
Gina Costa, looking simply stunning. What's this? She's opening her Fidelity app to buy that stock with no fees or commissions. Because what does Gina got?
Gina's got the look.
That never gets old.
Talk about easier investing.
They're following us.
This is awesome.
Giddy up.
The first ever Nissan Rogue Rock Creek.
North Carolina with their largest lead of the game. They've gone on a 10-2 run over the last 2.5 minutes. Trisha Cullop has to figure out and find some answers against this Tar Heels group. Well, I'll tell you, Trisha Cullop, first season, best start for a first-year head coach in program history, taking over for a long time. Katie Meyer spent 19 seasons with this program. A lot of respect between these two women. And Trisha Cullop said, hey, it's great to have her around, just to be able to not only call on her, but also just pick her brain about just how to grow this program and take it even further, and understanding the history and the culture of Miami Hurricanes women's basketball.
Absolutely, knowing the history, the culture. She's coached some of these players, including the Cavender twins, a few other players on the squad, has played in this arena for season after season, played in the ACC. So it's nice to have someone, as you said, a reputable coach that you can lean on and get advice from and talk to.
I'm thinking about that historic run that she took this program on, deepest ever in program history, making their first ever Elite Eight appearance in 2022.
Oh, I remember that, messing up everybody's bracket. I had faith, though. I think I had them pulling off the upset. I promise, I really did.
Yeah. No, they were phenomenal that year, rather in the 23 season. But when you think about Haley Cavender and her decision to come back, remember, she took off a year last year, both she and her sister, in making the decision to finish out their college basketball career with the U.
And when I talked to Haley, she said that the year that they took a step away, they treated it as a redshirt year. So they were in the gym, they were still getting up and down, still eating right. All the things that they would do as if they were playing in a season, you can see it translate directly on the court.
Whoa!
Hello.
Quick trigger there from Haley Cavender, ready at any and every turn. And she's able to knock down the three ball. She's got a dozen points for the Canes tonight, and ball bouncing around. Again, a lot of physicality that we've seen from both sides.
Talked about that motor that she plays with. Once she gives up the ball, you still have to keep an eye out for where she is, because she's constantly moving, and I love that. Stepping up, moving up out to the wing, and getting herself open for that three-point look.
The question that they have to answer if you're Miami Hurricane basketball players, how do you slow down Maria Gokding? Gokding already with 11 points, eclipsed her season average, now with 12 after that make. How do you slow her down? Well, that's one way. is you say thank you, Coach Bangert, for taking her off the floor momentarily.
And that'll be huge. And that's a good break for her as well, just given that you have some of the size with Nat Marshall out of the game right now.
Nat Marshall, starting post players, out with 2 personal fouls. Donarski up the floor, right side. Navarre at high dribble. Koralczyk trapped in the corner. And just relentless pursuit there from the Hurricanes defense, just trying to make everything difficult.
Yeah, that's what the Hurricanes worked on defensively in their shoot-around. They're going to have moments that they decide as players where they go out and they trap the ball in the corners, in the short corner, when the post picks up the ball.
Navarre well off the marks here. Toomey with the rebound, and Laney Grant, who's already knocked down a triple, won't get that one to go. Back the other way. And it's Hannah Cavender. Cavender can't get it to fall. Navarre with the rebound. Lexi Donarski. And Donarski rattles it in. Lexi Donarski is one of 3 graduates on this team.
She's a bit quiet in that first quarter, so this is her first couple points on the board with that triple. So it's good to see for Courtney Bangert and company to see her knock down a 3. I mean, quick up and down flow of game, and you got to know where Donarski is. She can shoot that thing. A dynamic inside out attack.
37% from the 3-point line, and she's just been steady and reliable in her second season in Carolina Blue. And Cam Williams draws the foul, wisely doing so. Cameron Williams, who played her 4 seasons at Michigan, a contributor there, but again has a greater opportunity here than the ACC and with this Miami team to make her presence felt in her final season of play.
Absolutely. You talk about making your presence felt, you do so by shooting the way that she is from the field. 64%. So this is a player that you can rely on to knock down shots in the interior, which will, in the end, open up shots in the exterior.
Yeah, leading the ACC in field goal percentages, Cameron Williams. 9th overall in the country. Another great look inside from Toomey to Ustby.
I mean, they're on a string. They play together well as a team on the defensive end, but they do offensively as well. Just high IQ, fundamentally sound. That was just a great read.
A 15-point advantage, trying to cut it here from Cameron Williams, finishing with that left hand. That was a contested shot, but Cameron Williams standing strong with 6'3" forward.
Now, if I'm UNC, I'm looking to attack, to get the ball to Ustby, try to get Williams into some foul trouble.
It's going to be Carolina basketball, and Gakding is going to check back in. Sierra Toomey will take a break. If you're a North Carolina fan, you've got to like the start they've gotten off to. They've shot the ball well, 45% from the floor. They've shared the ball pretty well, 10 assists for this group. Got those right reads and finds. And Donarski over to Ustby. Ustby with a strong move. I tell you, I love the way that she's shot the ball, but the way that she could just stretch the floor, but also put the ball on the floor and make it happen.
She's so versatile, so dynamic. We've seen her score inside. She can do a little shimmy, a little back-to-basket move in the post. We saw her hit the short jumper there. She can shoot it from outside, which she has improved drastically, stretching, being able to stretch out that floor and allow for the Tar Heels to have a more dynamic offense.
Roberts with a nice move, just couldn't finish it off. And the Canes got to find some answers offensively. And again, ways to slow down Maria Gakding. Gakding, who is 6 of 7 from the floor and leading the way with all scorers with 14 points.
One thing I like is when you reward the post player from rim running. Gakdang just got back in the game. Motor's not letting up. Love the run.
Gina Costa, looking simply stunning. What's this? She's opening her Fidelity app to buy that stock with no fees or commissions. Because what does Gina got?
Gina's got the look.
That never gets old.
Talk about easier investing.
Here we go. They're following us.
This is awesome.
Media.
The first ever Nissan Rogue Rock Creek.
Slay the season with Hisense 100-inch TVs, up to 40% off. Get a slam dunk deal this holiday season. You're gonna need a bigger Christmas tree. Win the holidays with Hisense.
Well, back here at the Watsco Center in Coral Gables, and this is the story, or at least one of the storylines for today, turnovers versus field goals made. North Carolina has done a great job of taking care of the basketball. It's going to be a point of emphasis for Trisha Cullop moving forward for her Miami Hurricanes.
I mean, absolutely. That's what they've struggled with. One thing they struggle with a lot is they played a number of teams that are very defensively sound, but you got to take care of the basketball, and it's just having that poise, that patience, and whipping the ball around.
Just tuning in, Haley Cavender with a dozen points. Cameron Williams, who's started to emerge as the second scorer. She's the second leading scorer on the team, but how about the twin-to-twin connection, that mental telepathy you talked about right there in view.
And we don't talk about Hannah Cavender enough, but this is a player that also puts a lot of points. She could put a lot of points in the basket if she wants to. She's just more of that pass-first point guard type of player, but when in doubt, she's going to put it up.
Well, Jasmine Roberts corrals the rebound. Hannah Cavender helping to lead in this possession. And Haley bouncing with that basketball, crossing over, spinning around with Crisp as the defender. Jasmine Roberts elevates from the free throw line and knocks it down.
I was going to say, UNC's been doing an outstanding job playing in that gap, keeping the Hurricanes out the paint, but in that possession, I like it. Roberts saw that it was open. No one was there, so she just elevated, pulled up right in that open spot at the elbow.
Nice kick out from Gakdang to Crisp. Crisp can't knock it down. Roberts once again. And Jasmine Roberts with 5 points. Hands it over to Hannah Cavender. Picks up her dribble. Swings it over. That's Anaya Davis. Adams, rather. And Anaya Adams is fouled. She'll go to the free throw line.
The Hurricanes are not letting up, and we start here. Twin-to-twin telepathy. I know y'all gonna get tired of me saying it, but it's happening. Love the look there from Haley to Hannah, and then we talked about it. Roberts just getting to that money spot at the elbow, draining it there.
Renee Adams, 3-time Gatorade Player of the Year, the freshman out of New Bedford, Massachusetts, knocks it down. Well, before the revelry of New Year's Eve, catch a men's hoops doubleheader Tuesday afternoon on the ACC Network. It starts at 2:30 Eastern with Notre Dame in Atlanta taking on Georgia Tech. Then Cooper Flagg and 4th-ranked Duke welcome Georgia Tech into Cameron Indoor. Just under a minute and a half to go in this first half, and it's been controlled by North Carolina, one of the top defensive teams in the country, holding the Canes to just 27 points thus far. Meanwhile, they found a groove offensively, but a traveling violation there from India Navarre. And a second turnover, just a second turnover for the Tar Heels. So now if you're Miami, you want to see if you can close this gap a little bit before going into the locker room, come up with a couple of valuable possessions here and convert. Adams, jump stop in the lane, won't go. And Gakdang who snatches down that rebound. 6 for her, and she's fouled in the process by Adams.
I like it. Sorry to Coach Kolob. The advantage of us getting to sit here on the coach's side, we get to hear everything she said, but she says to the freshmen, he said, hey, listen, be patient. There's a better option there, and that's what they worked on in shoot around. Those first, second options on the offensive end may not be there, so they got to continue to play and get to those third and fourth options, those counter options.
Here's Grant finding the ball. Corner 3. A little flat there, but there's Gakdeng for the rebound. Jump step. Throws it out right there, and there's Adams. Woo, Euro step to finish, and 1. You see why she's one of the top kids in this class coming in, number 37 overall, according to ESPN, and it's moves like this.
A huge momentum play. She had that foul, and she said, hey, next back fashion. She got the steal, and I love it, the Euro step, a strong Euro step to the basket for the AM1.
So she's got an opportunity to cut this lead to single digits as Miami has gone on a 7-0 run, an area where they have shined so far in this first half from the free throw line. So a 10-point ball game. Tar Heels looking to hold for the final shot before going into the locker room. This group led by as many as 17 points, and Kelly just leaves it short. And 39-29 in favor of the visitors. Maria Gakdeng was terrific in that first half with 14 points. Now let's send you to Justin Walters in the studio with Ivy Lab. Halfway point between 17th ranked.
Sister, we talked about that twin telepathy. I think that's the 4th time I mentioned it, but gotta love the looks for Miami so far.
One of the key things for the first half stats, you see Miami ending on a 7-0 run. And so coming out of the intermission, can they continue to build on that? We know about Haley Cavender, the reigning ACC Player of the Week. Can she continue to get some more additional support? We saw Cameron Williams start to come along as Cavender is fouled by India Navarre. Taking a look at the leading scorers, we talked about Gakdeng. How about Alyssa Ustby for North Carolina? And the steals leader in India Navarre comes up with another and finishes it off.
I mean, she's just so great in her anticipation, and for Miami, you can't lag off, you can't have lazy passes, you can't, you know, halfway cut to the ball. Everything that you have to do on offense has to be intentional.
Well, Nat Marshall, who missed some of that first half with 2 personal fouls, she's back on the floor. That's 21 in white, so look for them to get her going as they've got 3 seconds and counting to work with here on the shot clock. Heaved up, and somehow Hannah Cavender is able to knock it down. Hannah Cavender was special there on that possession here. Ustby back out to Renaya Kelly. Good ball movement we have seen. Stodarski finds Ustby and rims off.
And this is what's going to continue to be key for Miami, is to get stops on one end and then convert on the other end, and then more importantly, take care of the basketball, maximize opportunities as you see here off the glass.
Nice rebound snag away from Jasmine Roberts to keep it with them. And Roberts is able to be rewarded with the 3-ball, the triple going down from Jasmine Roberts. That's her 2nd of the game.
9 times out of 10, you're going to get a shot. You're going to make the shot off of an offensive rebound. So that's great execution from Jasmine Roberts.
Renaya Kelly says, well, I can answer that. The sophomore out of Hoover, Alabama. knocks it from downtown. Kelly, who had missed the last couple of games. And one thing that Miami's going to have to look to do is they're taking it deep into the shot clock. Cavender, tough shot for her. Cameron Williams getting down on the floor to try to get that one jump ball. And possession arrow goes to Carolina.
Maximizing opportunities. That's how the Hurricanes are going to continue to chip at this lead, and it starts here. Just being able to maximize possessions, but I love it. Roberts able to connect from threes. She's a player that can shoot it outside. She could play in the fours, she could play outside, so she's been huge so far in this matchup as well.
Kelly looking. Ustby set up one-on-one. She's got a couple of defenders. Can't get it to fall. But comes up with it. Spin move underneath. And the left hand from Alyssa Ustby.
The Tar Heels, each and every single one out there on the floor, they never let up. They always keep you on your toes on both ends of the floor.
Quickly put up by Cavender, won't fall. Williams retains possession for the Canes. Jasmine Roberts. And off the rebound, here come the Tar Heels. India Navarre going right at 21 and White Marshall. And good defense there too by Nat Marshall, understanding that she can't pick up another foul.
Have another look here. I mean, we talked about it. Ustby gaining the possession back. High motor there. I said it before, she needed to be in double figures for this team to win, and she's at 12 now.
Haley Cavender, who had a double-double in her last outing, 20 and 12, third straight. And there, nice ball movement as Cameron Williams collects it. And then a quick foul called against Hannah Cavender in the backcourt. Her second team foul, her second personal foul rather.
Ball movement's gonna be key as well, and Williams, she was almost a little too wide open. She didn't notice it at first, but then caught herself. It's a great finish there around the basket.
Alyssa Ustby, the graduate student from Rochester, Minnesota. They find Maria Gokding. Gokding just leaves it short. She's been efficient from the floor, just her second miss of the game. Nat Marshall, easy two. Her first 2 points of the game. Well, Nat Marshall is a player that, Asia, I know you're post-biased there, loving to see her face in addition as great execution back the other way from North Carolina.
And you talk about Nat Marshall, she's extremely talented, dynamic, another player that can stretch the floor, and I think as she continues to get acclimated in this new role, expanded role that she's playing, we're gonna see a lot more from her.
Well, check out on the break, we've seen some excellent ball movement for both, and then Cavender finding Nat Marshall, getting her revved up, and then on the other side, back the other way as India Navarre gets the feed and puts it in. Navarre, again, ever so active with those hands, can't finish. Ustby is there on the putback. Cleanup duty for Alyssa Ustby.
So what I didn't like there from Miami outside, not only did they turn the ball over, but they didn't get back. They had the chance on the missed layup to get that rebound. No one got back. So they were able to get the rebound and put it back up, UNC.
Jasmine Roberts behind the back. She's fouled in the process. Landy Grant.
North Carolina doing what they do best, and that is their defense. Getting steals and being able to convert on the other. And Navarre, hands all up in the cookie jar. There's just nothing you could do about it. It's easy. North Carolina just extending the lead.
The balance that we have seen from this North Carolina club today, I mean, Maria Gakdeng, who has helped to lead the way, Alyssa Ustby, who has been right there with her, India Navarre as well. It is just a truly balanced attack. And normally we would be used to calling one name. You know, Deja Kelly was the one last year who they were really used to referring to and kind of calling on and coming up with shots. This year, though, Coach Bangert said, hey, look, it's different this time around. And why did you like the response from Coach Bangert?
I mean, I love it, and that's typically what you see when you have those type of situations. One player leaving, that was kind of like the do-it-all, go-to score. You kind of see everyone else do a little bit more, and it's a lot of it more for Courtney Bangert, and it's a luxury to not only have that balance from different players, but that balance attack, different looks offensively, inside and out, to complement the great defense that they already play.
Off the mark was Kelly. Tar Heels keep it. Gakdeng, do they reward her? She tries, and it won't roll, but she's got 2 free throws upcoming. And Courtney Bangert said, hey, look, would love a Michael Jordan, okay, type player, but it's also nice to be able to spread the wealth in the process because you get to see all players, you know, elevate their game and contribute.
I'm taking the pick your poison type of play all day. I mean, it's one thing, if you have that dominant Michael Jordan, cool, because ain't no stopping that. But to be able to wreak that sort of havoc, have that dynamic offensively where it could be one person's side, it could be another person's side. We talked about the 3 that are in double figures. Now, Navarre being in there, it may be Donarski another night.
Yeah.
It may be Renaya Kelly another night. So just to have those different looks, it's kind of hard. You can't really key in on anybody specifically.
For Miami, who has trailed most of this game, we've seen moments where they've come within single digits back in that first half. They're looking to, again, come up with stops. And on the break, Cavender behind the back to her sister. Nice dish and a dime!
She knew she was there. I'm not going to say the T word again, but she knew she was there, and I love the run behind the back pass there, the no look.
Well, in an area where we've seen North Carolina really thrive in terms of points off turnovers, Miami was able to capitalize there on their last possession here. Foul on the floor called against North Carolina. Let's take another look at it here.
We see Cavender with the ball. We know she can dish it, but I wasn't expecting this one, the behind the back. I think she almost got me with that one. Getting it there to her sister. What we normally see from Haley, or excuse me, from Hannah to Haley, it went from Haley to Hannah. So seeing that dynamic, seeing that both of them can be facilitators and be scorers and getting out on the break, that's just that high motor between the twins.
Ustby, just her length right there, making it difficult. And Ustby back the other way. She's got the ball in her hands. Finds again Maria Gakdeng. Gakdeng just can't get it to fall. She was very efficient in that first half. And now Hannah Cavender, second on the team on assists. You talked about just the facilitator type of role that she takes. And Jasmine Roberts with an open look from 3 and got it. Jasmine Roberts now 3 triples on the afternoon. Lainey Grant can't get it. And underneath the basket, a lot of contact, fighting for position for the rebound. And Nat Marshall is whistled for the personal foul. That's her 3rd.
That was huge, and that Marshall got caught there under the basket, not doing her work early on the block out, which is why she got the foul.
And obviously not what you want for Tricia Cullop, because understanding that your bench is kind of short, right? We talked to her earlier just about a handful of players, either due to sickness, injury, or red shirt, not being able to go as deep into her bench as of right now.
Especially in that front court. So, as you said, with whether it's Marshall, whether it's Williams, whoever's going out, if it's in the front court, it's a problem. And that sort of has been a pattern that I've noticed just from watching the Hurricanes over non-conference play, is Nat Marshall getting into foul trouble a lot. So that's something she's going to have to work on and lock in as they continue to go through conference play.
The spill on the floor, and crews working feverishly to clean it up and get it off as quickly as possible. I see little particles, little items on the floor. Not sure what it is exactly, but it's right in front of the Miami bench. And you'll notice that the Miami 5 on the court, or underneath, or just on the block. And North Carolina talking to their coaching staff.
Well, if I'm Miami right now in that huddle, I'm seeing the Twins talking a lot. They're sitting here saying, hey, look, stop and score. There's still a lot of time left in this game, but it starts on the defensive end. Stop to score.
All right, look up there. Up a water bottle was spilled onto the court right in front of their bench, so those little particles were ice. Couldn't tell exactly what it was, but all of it is cleaned up now. So back in action, and Kelly to Ustby. Well, Alyssa Ustby, 14 points now, leading scorer of that balanced attack. And what a move. Nice one from Haley Cavender. Off the screen, likes it, pops it up, and in from 3. Navarro nearly loses the handle, gets it back, and then some contact there from Hannah Cavender.
UNC is just so sound on both ends of the floor offensively as well. And this is just great execution. The back screen there for Ustby. Help was not there. Help was late. Cavender saw it. Hannah Cavender saw it, but she didn't go with the player and help when the post got stuck on that screen.
So Hannah takes a seat, and Adams checks in along with Lamaya Hilton off the bench for the Canes. Must be good ball movement. And Grant, the last one to have it, and gets the fortuitous bounce to go down.
Grant, a player to watch out for and to be more than excited about this season, the freshman. It's just amazing, all the freshmen that we've seen come into this league and just dominate. And even early in the season. It's amazing to see.
Just a 17-year-old, might we add.
Just a 17-year-old.
Can't vote, forfeited her final year of high school to come be a part of the program. And boy, she is quickly continuing to open eyes. Final minute, just over the final minute of the third quarter here, and Lainey Grant, who we're talking about. 8 points already. Look, my man has been busy. I mean, he's been going to work, okay?
Listen, he's making sure that floor is nice and dry, squeaky clean, protecting our players. So shout out to him under the basket. Sir, we see you.
Well, Ustby at the free throw line, trying to tack on more. Well, Thursday night at 10 Eastern, good time to tell you that nothing but net. The crew will break down the night in the ACC with highlights and analysis of every women's game and look ahead at the best matchups on the schedule for the weekend. We've got you covered all season right here on the ACC network and the ESPN app. Knocking down one of 2 is Alyssa Ustby. So maintaining that lead rather comfortably right now are the Tar Heels And some answers have to be found offensively as it's stolen away by Renaya Kelly. Kelly to Ustby. Ustby can't finish. Cavender thought about it, instead finds Lamaya Hilton, who was trailing, and it won't go down. So the Tar Heels slow things down in a series in which they have controlled just slightly over their times meeting up against Miami. Have a 16-14 advantage, but a couple last season. They're gonna whistle Cameron Williams for a push in the back. The post out of Chicago, Illinois, now picking up her 3rd personal foul. So with the bonus, once more, it's Gakdeng back at the free throw line for North Carolina, and she's been a part of the big three, if you will, for this group. 44 points combined over that trio. Crossover, pull up, true for Haley Cavender. Well, she's still going 100%, giving everything that she's got. Her team trails by 15 at the end of the 3rd quarter. But what kind of fight do the Hurricanes with a 62-47 advantage over the Miami Hurricanes? Asia Ellison, Tiffany Green back here with you at the Watsco Center. And right now to start this 4th quarter, Trisha Cullop putting Marshall and Hannah Cavender both with 3 fouls to go along with Cameron Williams as well. They've got to play well on the defensive end, but they need their contributions also on this end of the floor. Hannah Cavender trying to go to work on Renaya Kelly, high off the glass, kiss it in, yes.
I love the look. Hannah Cavender, that's what they're gonna need. Haley's doing what she's gotta do. Williams putting in a couple buckets. Roberts got some. They need that balanced attack. Same as the way that North Carolina's doing.
India Navarre and Ustby have been a part of it. Airmailed from Navarre. Up ahead, cross half court. Here's Cavender. And Roberts, who's got 11 points this afternoon.
Hurricanes are looking for that high-low action, but credit Gakdeng. She's doing such a great job taking away that overthrow.
Here's Cameron Williams searching for behind the screen. The 3 won't go for Haley Cavender. And pushing up ahead is Renaya Kelly. Great position in the paint for Gakdeng. And she's got 2 more. When we talk about the points in the paint have been heavily in favor of the Tar Heels, 38-28. And Gakdeng now with a 20-point performance tonight. Tried to get a piece of that one, but also got a part of Cameron Williams' hand at Gakdeng. And so Cameron Williams will go to the line and shoot a couple.
Look at Grant working there, switching on the ball, but continuing to go over and blowing up those ball screens, able to stay on Haley Cavender, forcing that tough 3. And that was what they worked on in shoot around. That's the scouting report. That's the way they want to execute. So to see the freshmen being able to do that, and just speaking from experience, going from high school to college, the defense is the toughest part to get acclimated to. You talk about the pace of college play. Everybody coming out of high school can score the basketball, right? But coming into college, it's the defense that is the toughest to learn to get acclimated with. So to see her be able to do that, another thing that's impressive to go along with her offensive ability.
Working around the screen is Lexi Donarski, who gets it to go down. It's Donarski. We talked about one of those playmakers, just 5 points, but at any time can get going. Cameron Williams hands it off to Jasmine Roberts, and Roberts in that mid-range along with stepping out downtown. She's found success today. 13 points for Jasmine Roberts, the senior out of Jacksonville, Florida.
Now Miami just has to get stops.
And that's one right there. High hands, just the length there of 6'5", Nat Marshall.
Marshall and Williams working together. It's going to be tough one-on-one. One, when you're defending Gakdang herself, but also they both have 3 fouls, so they're not able to play as aggressive as they would like.
Turnaround J won't fall for Roberts.
So that's why, yep, if I'm UNC, I'm continuing to attack into the paint. Attack those bigs with 3 fouls.
And just pushed up by the left hand from Ustby. And Miami spends a timeout here with 7:06 to go in the ball game. So they'll talk things over and figuring out a plan of execution. They got the ball when we come back. Fourth straight double-double for Maria Gakdang with 20 points and 11 rebounds. And how about Alyssa Ustby? She's got 5 on the season as well. 15 and 11, just a great overall effort from these two. Gakdang also tying a season high with 11 rebounds.
They're just a talented front court, which is so important to have in the ACC. We talked about how well they work together, how different they are as players, but Gakdang, athletic, agile, but more so in the paint, and Ustby being able to stretch the floor out more. It's paid dividends on both ends of the floor.
So coming out of that timeout, Miami has 2 remaining. We'll see what Trisha Cullip's group comes up with in this possession. Time winding down, 5 and counting, as Marshall, who can stroke it from outside, can't get it to go. Offensive rebound by Haley Cavender, back to her sister Hannah, and the three's too strong.
Yeah, it's a good call. Roberts just went to go crash the basket, but didn't get a body. Instead, she pushed into the back of Navarro.
You know, I think this woman right here knows a thing or two or plenty more about double-doubles. Wouldn't you say?
Double-doubles, that's some triple-doubles in there.
Yeah, yeah. New York Times best-selling author.
So triple-double in life. She's just doing everything.
Yeah, she is. You gonna cop those A1s?
I didn't cop the A1s yet. But I will cop them, but I'm going to go back out on the court and play with them.
Come on. Come on. Look, for her career, averages a double-double, and she took her game to another level. And I didn't even know if it was even possible because she was already an outstanding player in just 8 seasons in the WNBA, averaging nearly, what, 27 points?
Oh, yeah.
And double figures in rebounds as well for her career. Come on.
Unstoppable, so dynamic in her game. Does it on both ends of the floor. And congratulations on her new Nike deal. I mean, and this is all, I mean, better late than never, but these are things that she should have had already, but just so proud of her. I'm fangirling over here. I'm in awe. I don't even really know what to say.
I think there is I'm joining the party for the fangirl.
But I'm just so happy. Sure. Yeah, so happy for Asia and just all that she's been able to accomplish and who she is as a person off the court as well as on the court. I mean, she just embodies everything that you would want to see in a WNBA player, and that's why I believe that she is the face of the league.
100%, and has just been helping to grow this wonderful game that we love from her time at South Carolina. Has that statue outside of Colonial Life Arena, and
Got the statue too.
Yeah, come on.
List goes on.
But I appreciate that, you know, she's in town, and obviously she's got multiple reasons why she's here, taking in this ACC matchup. But as Haley Cavender now with 18 points, she's got 10 rebounds as well, so she's going to join that double-double club, her 4th straight, 5th overall this season. But her boo, we're just going to call it what it is, you know? So Bam Adebayo playing for the Miami Heat, so she's likely going to take in game on New Year's Day.
But I love even being here for that, showing love to the women's game. No matter what city she's in, she's going to pull up. Even if it's not a South Carolina game, she's coming just for the overall support of women's basketball. And, you know, that's what's so important, is just that support there.
Another timeout taken by Miami. They've got one remaining because creating some separation is 17th ranked North Carolina on the road.
Getting field, I mean, that's what they do. It's all in the writing, and it's what's working. Ustby extending her double-double.
Pete Gordon invests the way he wants to invest, with no minimums and no hesitations.
I'm taking the train tomorrow.
It's like 30 minutes from your house.
40.
Oh, talk about easier investing.
Here we go. They're following us.
This is awesome.
Media.
The first ever Nissan Rogue Rock Creek.
Slay the season with Hisense 100-inch TVs, up to 40% off. Get a slam dunk deal this holiday season. You're gonna need a bigger Christmas tree. Win the holidays with Hisense.
Back here at the Watsco Center, and just over 4 minutes remaining in this one. North Carolina, one of 6 top 25 teams out of the ACC. They have led most of the way. Nearly picked off by Grant. It's Roberts who steps into that one. And Jasmine Roberts, who again, that mid-range game has been true. She's got 15 points, the second leading scorer for the Canes in this game.
Roberts has been so tough, and you talked about it, that mid-range game. A shot that we've seen kind of fallen out the league a little bit, but it's just so crucial when players are running you off the free throw line or packing it in the paint, finding that gap somewhere in the mid-range to be able to knock it down, and that's when Roberts has been able to do.
On the inbound, it's Grace Townsend who has it. Gotta put up a shot, gotta do it quickly. Navarre lets it fly before the shot clock expires. Bodies hit the floor. It was Hannah Cavender along with Nat Marshall in a Carolina blue jersey, and Ustby. You know, Ustby, you just love to see the toughness from her, but also in talking with her coach, you know, it was like, hey, who has kind of emerged as that voice, that leader? She says, hey, Alyssa Ustby has always been a player that's led by example, but now we're starting her to become more comfortable in her voice.
Which there's no right or wrong way to lead, right? But I think that's important, you know, when you are a grad, to who that player is that's going to step up and be like, hey, we need to get it together. Hey, this is what we need to do. And as you said, Ustby has taken more of that role and gotten more comfortable in her voice.
So Jasmine Roberts, her aggressiveness leads her to the free throw line. She's got 2 upcoming. ACC PM with Mark Packer and Taylor Tannenbaum, weekdays at 4 Eastern, right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Roberts knocks down the back end, and now full court press and the pressure coming from the Canes. Under 3 minutes to go, trailing by just 11. So slowly but surely closing the gap. Can they come up with a stop here? Again, working deep into the shot clock are the Tar Heels. Cavender got a piece of that. And again, good help defense. And then right there at the end, the whistle for a foul against Jasmine Roberts. That's her fourth.
Have another look here, and it's just a great pass in there. Roberts got over there too late. If she was there early in the help, she would have been able to wall up and force up a tough shot.
Gakding, who we've talked about, just the impressive outing she's had in this one. It's one of two, snatched down by Marshall to corral the rebound. And the Canes gonna try to pull with the intent, or perhaps cut it to single digits. And Marshall just rushed that one. So Navarre able to bring it up across half court. And Carolina's gonna take their time. Meanwhile, Cavender's right in her face as the Canes got locked down defensively here on this possession for the Tar Heels. And trying to make the true freshman work. Ustby, I'm not sure how she navigated through everybody. And Gakding once again comes up with another board. An all-important one there.
What we're seeing here, Tiffany, is fatigue kicking in for the Hurricanes. That lack of depth, you see it starting to kick in now. Whereas on the other side, UNC, they've been able to sub players in and out. They've got some players off the bench. They're able to play the way that they want because of that depth.
That's a great point, Asia. We talked about just the shortened bench that Trisha Cullip has going in, and I think they're going to review this one to see who it was last touched by.
The out of bounds call is under review. The call on the floor is blue ball.
And another look at it here. Who's handed it go off last? That's very difficult to see. Well, Dee Kantner, Jeffrey Smith, Ashley Gloss, our officiating crew. So Kantner and Jeffrey both taking a look at it. Let's get another peek here from this angle.
I think they're right. I think Williams got the last hand on it when she kind of put her hand through. So I think that's the right call to give it back to North Carolina.
Let's see. It's Gakding and
Roberts
going up for it.
So watch, Gakding goes for it, and I think Roberts has the last hand when she gets her hand on the, And I think they were looking to see if she touched it again. She didn't.
So this should be a relatively short review.
After review, the out of bounds is confirmed. Blue ball.
And Dee Kantner, one of the best in the business.
The best in the business.
Yeah.
Just repping my Maryland games back in the day.
So the call confirmed. North Carolina will inbound it under their basket to Grant. Gakding quickly out the hands. And got to keep pace and quickly get a good look here if you're Miami. We came in talking about North Carolina's defense and how they're one of the best. Just difficult to score against. And Miami surpassed that 52 points that they're normally used to holding pass, and they shot the ball just about 40% as well from the field. But an overall outstanding effort from Carolina's defense.
And what I find most impressive is that the way they're playing defense, how they're able to get steals. Typically teams like that play more of a frenetic defense where it can be a little out of control to their benefit, but oftentimes you can backdoor cut and play off of that. But no, North Carolina, they play like a disciplined, sound, angles, cerebral, tough defense.
Jasmine Roberts fading away on that three. But Jasmine Roberts has been another bright spot. 19 points to tie Haley Cavender. Roberts and Haley Cavender have helped to really kind of carry things on the offensive end. Is that the second time we've seen Haley Cavender?
The second one, that's so smooth. That's how she's getting them. Looking one way, behind the back the other. And Roberts, how about Roberts knocking it down? She's been able to stretch the floor and hit some big shots.
Well, you just referenced a 9-point ball game, a long stretch at the top of the broadcast about how it is a gauntlet in the ACC. Just the second game, got 16 more to go. It's going to be North Carolina who moves to 1-1 in conference play. Miami handed their first loss in league play with a 69-60 win for North Carolina.
North Carolina, yeah, sorry, Tiff. They looked absolutely impressive. Both ends of the floor. They have the pieces offensively as well. So it's going to be exciting to see as they continue to get reps under their belt how well they will do. But then you also got to shout out Miami, a team that plays absolutely hard. They're lacking in depth right now due to some injuries. So hopefully they can get some players back in the mix, the ones that will become available later in the season.
4-game win streak snapped for the Hurricanes. So we talked about both these teams coming in with the hot hands. It's 10 of the last 11 wins for North Carolina. And we talked often about the balanced attack that we have seen, just dispersing the scoring amongst, and a lot of hands chipped in for this victory.
Absolutely, and that's what's going to be key moving forward for the Tar Heels, is just their ability to not only have balanced scoring amongst the players, but have that balanced attack too.